You know, I want to have faith in humanity. I want to feel assured that, in general, people are decent. You know, they've got a good soul and a good heart. That's what I want to feel. But I keep getting let down. Left, right and centre. Unfortunately, those who are decent, they don't speak out enough. No, they're the quietest out there. They really are. It's a crying shame, really. We need someone to counter the right-wing nut jobs. It has to be said. There's no other way of putting them. They are absolute crazy. You see, since Rishi Sunak announced the general election, there was an uptick. An uptick in, well, members or donations by individuals for the Reform Party. Nigel Farage's party, who says now he's not going to stand. He's going to support Donald Trump instead. He's going to be too busy, he says. And this man tells us that he's a true patriot. What does that say? He's a true liar, charlatan, a cheat. But people get suckered in by him, you know. Some people love him for taking off his shirt to write said Fred. It's no strangest folk, you know. And you got Ben Habib, another right-wing nut job, who wants to pull up the bridge. Now he's got his feet firmly planted in the UK. Doesn't want anyone else, no. He reckons we should drown them all. That's what he reckons.
Your colleague Ben Habib says, "Let them drown."
No, he does not say. That's absolutely ridiculous, Andrew. What actually?
Well, listen. Let me read you the exchange with Julia Hartley-Brewer. Then you would leave them to drown. Absolutely, he says. They cannot be infantilized.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yes, they have to suffer the consequences of their actions.
Then you would leave them to drown.
They cannot. Absolutely, they cannot be infantilized.
Here, I think.
You must be a bit irritated with Ben Habib in that
Not at all.
case.
Ben was quite right at the beginning of the interview when that was agreed.
But then she says you would leave them to drown, and he says
No,
absolutely.
he didn't say absolutely.
Yes, they have to suffer the consequences of
Then
their
you would
actions.
leave them to drown.
They cannot. Absolutely, they cannot be infantilized.
The clock is ticking.
Infantilised. Let them drown, absolutely. So Richard Tice trying to defend that. How you defend murder? Because that's basically what it is, you see. There's maritime law that states if anyone's in trouble in the sea, you must, if you are aware, if you've received a Mayday call, have you seen it for yourself, you must act. You must try and save them. That's law. So Richard Tice and Ben Habib are basically saying, no, we're not going to apply international law. But you see, you can argue, okay, then we don't want anything to do with international law. British laws for British people, yeah, but what about when you're abroad? What about if you're in international waters? That's why these laws exist. For your safety. To protect you. But no. They just want to pull up the drawbridge or drown them. That's why I lose faith in people. Because more and more people are voting for reform. You see, they've got 10% of the vote in the polls. 10%. And when you consider that many people actually vote in the first place, and some people haven't been in the poll at all, makes you wonder how many people actually believe in the Reform Party and the idea of drowning people. And if you don't, and you are a supporter of the Reform Party, I think you need to take a long, hard look at yourselves, about your own humanity. That's what I think. I think it's sad. I think it's a crying shame. It reflects badly on the British people around the world. They see all this, you see. British news isn't just British news. It turns into world news. And it's there forever. You see? This interview now will be thrown in Richard Tice's face again and again and again. Ben Habib don't care, because he said it. What does it say about people, eh? Where is the humanity, the decency, the integrity? There ain't none. Unfortunately, there ain't. Now, I'm not saying this is the majority of the British people, because it's not. I actually believe that inherently, I think most people are fairly decent, you know? They might be misinformed. They might be easily duped. Because the majority of British people are actually quite simple. They just are. Too busy. They're just trying to live their lives. They're trying to pay their bills. They're just trying to feed their kids, get a roof over their heads. Times are tough. There ain't enough money to go around in the UK. No. Because they're in the hands of individuals. That money. It's been hoarded. Yet ordinary folk can't afford to survive. The cost of living crisis, everything is getting so expensive. And now we're going to be seeing the inflation go up again because energy prices are about to go up, making everything more expensive. People have less disposable income, less growth in the UK. Oh, I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, well, our growth with the highest in the G7. Oh, no, you're not. No. Last month, the EU is actually, including Germany, they've just seen exponential growth. We're selling more and more to the United States. Since the United States has imposed tariffs on China, encouraging native and also EU industries to supply the supply chain in the US. And when you consider their economy is around 23 trillion for 350 million people, it's considerable, you know. Any chunk of that pie is a big chunk, Liz Truss. Oh, that's a disgrace. What the hell have people done to the United Kingdom? Voting for Brexit, which then railroaded in the 2019 general election intake, and Boris Johnson. So flipping crazy. Just look what's been happening over the last few years. Yes, we had COVID. We did. Don't get away from it. But over here in the EU, they barely talk about it anymore. It's not a driving factor for the economy anymore. Apart from obviously the debt. They managed it well. In the UK, we've got like 400 billion in debt, extra debt because of COVID. And much of that money was squandered. And over 36 odd billion it just disappeared. Because that Dido woman and her track and trace. It's madness. But we always look for someone to blame, aren't we? We're always looking for that next scapegoat. Tories especially, but also those who support them. Individuals, British citizens. Just happy to apply blame because it relinquishes or makes them think it relinquishes their own blame. The fact they are to blame. The fact they voted for Brexit for a start. It all started with Brexit, you know. Some people say it's gone way before that. It started with austerity. Some people say it started with Tony Blair, but no. The biggest changes we've seen started with Brexit. And Nigel Farage brought that to us. Pushed for it. David Cameron was scared shitless. So he said, if you vote for us in the general election, we'll give you Brexit. It'll be an in-out referendum, he said. He didn't believe in it. He didn't think anyone would vote for it. How wrong was he? The campaign was strong. The lies were strong. The clickbait headlines were strong. The right-wing press all pushed for Brexit. No wonder we got Brexit. It was inevitable, really. And now they're all trying to defend Brexit because it's a shit show. The farmers, they still don't want to actually accept that Brexit, that they, 59% apparently in the polls, voted for Brexit. And they expect our sympathy. The fact they're destroying the ground anyway, they might say, oh yeah, we maintain, we're custodians of the land. No, you're not. You're destroying it. Farmers are destroying it, just like the fisherman is destroying the seabed. Sorry, that's just fact. As James O'Brien would say, it's discounting. Intensive farming is dangerous. It's destroying our ecosystems. What ecosystem? There is no ecosystem. If you get rid of everything, you churn it over again and again and again. You toxify it, well then there's no ecosystem, is there, in the soil? No biodiversity. It's got to be a better way. First thing first, obviously you've got to get the Tories out. That would be a start. But will Labour be any better? I think they will. They will be better, but they won't be good enough to make real change. No. They'll say we ain't got enough money. Some of these changes don't cost anything. Just need to be done. But no. You say it's a problem with so-called democracy because they're so worried about the vote. That's all they care about, is the vote to keep the power. That's not necessarily the good for the people. No. Or the good for the planet, or for the country. No. It's what's good for the party. We've seen this with the Tories again and again and again, trying to protect the Tory party. And it's backfired on them big time, hasn't it? In fact, the Tories are all disappearing one after the other, leaving this sinking ship. Well, actually, to be fair, I already have. I'm here in France, you see. There's no getting away from it. No. It's quite depressing, actually, to be fair. And I still have children living in the UK, you see. I worry about their futures. I like to say the future's bright, but it's not. Not even under Labour. But what choice have we got? Quite frankly. Nothing can be worse than these Tories. And if you vote Tory or Reform Party, you're going to be voting for further demise of your rights, your civil rights, and the degradation of your country and the planet. It's madness. And what say you? Please leave in the comments down below. But please beat the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. But also try and do something that is positive. Try and make a difference. If everybody made a difference. If everyone just planted a tree, for instance, in your backyard or what have you, or over here. You know, there's a GoFundMe link down below if you want to take part of that. We're doing a rewilding here, you see. And we're putting signs with the trees and what have you. In fact, I've got a trolley over there full of them signs put in. Yeah, just try and do something positive for the environment. Think about it next time when you go shopping. Do I need that in a plastic packet? Why not just buy it loose? If you've got options, that is. It's not always the case. The supermarkets have imposed it upon you because they think that's what you want. You've got to tell them what you want by not buying it. If people bought more loose produce, they'll put more loose produce on the shelves, etc., etc. It's just how it is. Supply and demand. It's madness otherwise. Anyway, toodaloo. Don't forget to hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel and the bell icon, because you get one face in your pocket every time I upload another video. Blimey.